All right, today we're diving into an absolutely fascinating story from history. It's a perfect case study of how one single diplomatic insult, a moment of pure suspicion, can spiral completely out of control and trigger a massive war.
It's a question we still grapple with today, right? How does a simple miscommunication, a misunderstanding, escalate into something catastrophic? Well, we're about to see exactly how that happens, step by painful step.
So, you might be surprised to hear that our story doesn't start with an act of aggression. It starts with the complete opposite, a gesture of kindness, an attempt to build a bridge between two kingdoms.
Here's the setup. The king of the Ammonites has just passed away, and his son, Hanun, is the new guy on the throne. Over in Israel, King David sees an opportunity. He thinks, Hanun's dad was good to me, so I'm going to be good to him. He sends a delegation with a really simple mission. Just go express my condolences, honor your new king, and keep the peace.
But this is the exact moment where everything goes completely off the rails. What was meant to be an olive branch is about to get lit on fire by pure paranoia.
And this really shows you the heart of the problem. It's a catastrophic failure in communication. On the left, you've got David's intent. It's simple, it's peaceful. But look at the right. The Ammonite commanders get in their new king's ear and they completely twist it. They're whispering, "Seriously? You think David is here to honor your father? No way. These guys are spies, sent here to map out our cities so they can come and overthrow us."
And the new king, Hanun, he buys it. He doesn't just send the delegation packing, he publicly and profoundly humiliates them. He has them seized. He has half of their beards shaved off, which, in that culture, was a sign of unbelievable shame. And then he has their robes cut off at the waist, exposing them. This isn't just a political snub, you see. This is a personal, degrading, and unforgettable insult.
So when David hears what happened, his response says it all. He totally gets how deep this insult cuts. He tells his envoys, "Don't even come back to the capital. Just wait in Jericho until your beards grow back." The message from the Ammonites was received loud and clear. An unforgivable line has been crossed. It just goes to show you. In diplomacy, perception is everything. And an insult to this public, it almost always demands a public response.
Oh, and the Ammonites know exactly what they've done. They know they've gone too far, and instead of trying to de-escalate, they decide to lean right into the conflict they just started.
They realized they had become obnoxious to David, which has to be the understatement of the century for "we just picked a fight with a powerful king." At this point, talk is over. This is the point of no return. Instead of an apology, they double down, betting that a bigger army can solve a problem that their own pride created. Their next move? It isn't a peace treaty, it's hiring an army.
And this shows you just how serious they are. They spend 1,000 talents of silver. That is a massive fortune. To hire mercenaries. This isn't a defensive move anymore. They are building a war chest.
And what does all that cash get them? A truly colossal fighting force. We're talking 32,000 chariots and their drivers, all hired from the surrounding Aramaean kingdoms, plus another king who brings his own troops to the party. The Ammonites are trying to build an army so big and so overwhelming that they can crush David before he even knows what hit him.
So this huge mobilization puts David's top general, a guy named Joab, in an absolutely impossible position. He's now facing a massive coalition army that has him completely surrounded, a tactical nightmare.
Seriously, put yourself in his sandals for a second. The Ammonite army is in front of you, right at their city gate. But their huge army of hired mercenaries, they're in the open field behind you. You are caught in a classic pincer movement. Trapped. So, what's the plan? What do you do?
Well, Joab's response is just a masterclass in battlefield strategy. He splits his army in two. He takes the best of the best, the elite troops, and he turns them around to face the bigger threat, the Aramaean mercenaries. He puts his brother, Abishai, in charge of the rest of the army to keep the Ammonites busy. And then he makes this simple, brilliant pact. If you're in trouble, I'll come save you. If I'm in trouble, you come save me.
And he tops it all off with this incredible battle speech. He's not just giving orders, he's reminding his brother and his men why they're fighting. For their people, for their homes. It's just a pure moment of leadership when everything is on the line.
And you know what? It works. It works perfectly. The second Joab and his elite soldiers charge the Aramaean mercenaries, the mercenaries just break. They run. They had no real skin in the game. And when the Ammonites see their big, scary, hired army scattering for the hills, they panic and run right back inside their city walls. Round 1 goes to Israel. A huge lesson that a clever strategy and motivated soldiers can beat a bigger but less committed army.
But hold on, this thing is far from over. The Aramaeans are humiliated that they got routed so easily, and they are not about to just let that go. The conflict is about to escalate yet again, and this time it's going to pull King David himself onto the battlefield.
So the defeated Arameans don't just go home with their tails between their legs. No, they send for massive reinforcements from way beyond the Euphrates River. This is no longer a border dispute. This is a full-scale regional war. And the threat is so huge that David doesn't send his generals this time. He personally gathers the entire army of Israel and marches out to lead them himself.
David leads his forces across the Jordan River and arranges them for battle right across from this new, even bigger Aramean army. All the pieces are on the board. This is it, the final, decisive showdown.
And the result of the battle is an absolute crushing victory for Israel. I mean, the numbers tell the whole story. David's army takes out 7,000 of the enemy's elite charioteers.
And on top of that, another 40,000 of their foot soldiers. The Aramaean army isn't just defeated, it's basically annihilated. Their top commander is killed, and their power is broken.
Which brings us to the aftermath. Now we can finally see the full consequences of that one initial, fatal mistake by the Ammonites. The entire balance of power in the region has just been redrawn.
Think of it like dominoes falling. All the smaller kingdoms that were loyal to the Aramaeans, they see their masters have been totally crushed. So they immediately switch sides, make peace with David, and become his subjects. Just like that, David's kingdom expands massively. And the Ammonites, the ones who started this whole thing, they're left completely alone. The final line says it all. The Aramaeans were not willing to help the Ammonites anymore. Their huge gamble backfired, leaving them isolated and exposed.
And that leaves us with this final big question to think about. King Hanun and his advisors, they took a calculated risk. They thought they could assert their strength, disrespect a rival, and get away with it. But it blew up in their faces, spectacularly. It really makes you ask, when does a risk, one that's born out of pride or suspicion, cross the line and become a fatal, irreversible error?